I was just reading and I guess Aprilia is coming out with their 2018 RSV4 RF, and they're going to have, for the North American market only, the RF is going to come in a limited edition. I think it's weird that it's North America only for the limited edition. It's like the limited edition version that I have. The North American models were the only ones that came with carbon fiber. The European RFs did not come with all the carbon fiber goodies. But the 2018 RSV4 RF is actually the first production superbike to come with winglets, and they're carbon fiber winglets. And yeah, I'm going to throw up a bunch of pictures as I'm talking about it, because it is kind of funny looking. I don't quite understand why. The World Superbike rules did change, and they are allowing winglets in use if they come from the manufacturer that way. So that's a little suspect, because people, the thing about Aprilia, the reason why they came out with the limited edition ones is so they had that jump start, because a lot of rules with superbike races and stuff is certain things have to come from the manufacturer that way, from their production bike. And if your production bike has that jump start, the crazy light rims, etc., then you have a jump start in the super stock races, etc. So they say that they're not going to use the 2018 model as the basis of their World Superbike platform. We'll see how that changes as time goes on. They say that. They are, like I said, carbon fiber winglets. They're not just plastic pieces of shit. It is kind of funny looking. But Aprilia stated the reason they did it is, for one, to, I guess, kind of, you know, show the connection or whatever between their production superbike and their MotoGP platform. So it's just kind of like, you know, paying respect, like, hey, this is how far we come, blah 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 blah. And also, I think the graphics are actually pretty sick. They're to pay homage to. It's an interpretation of. Here, I'm gonna get some gas and then I'll finish this up. Get that last drop. So where was I? Oh yes, and the paid scheme is apparently, it's an interpretation, so it's not an exact replica, but it's to pay homage to when Aprilia won their first World Championship race in 1987 in MotoGP. I forget exactly who the rider was. There's only going to be 125 of these limited edition RSV4 RFs for sale in North America. There's going to be 100 of them sold in the United States, and the other 25 are going to be sold in Canada. Personally, I mean, I think it's a dope-ass bike with the winglets and stuff like that. It's a great for like a collector's bike, I guess you could say. But I probably wouldn't trade in my 2016 RSV4 RF for this bike, for the 2018. It's just not that big of a jump. I do think it's pretty cool, and I actually think it's going to start setting a standard. Aprilia does that. A lot of people don't really think about it, but Aprilia puts out basically a race bike from the factory, and that gives them a huge jump start in races, especially when certain restrictions say it has to come from the factory. That's why Aprilia does it. It gives them that advantage. Aprilia only really cares about is racing, because the main reason they came out with the limited edition bikes is they just built enough of them so they could be classed as production bikes and they could use them in races. And Aprilia says with the 2018, with the winglets and stuff like that, it's not a homogenized, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, bike. So they don't plan on making just enough of them so they can be classed as a production bike and put them in races. We'll see what happens in that. I do think it's pretty cool. I love the scheme. I do kind of wish, and I understand it's a limited edition bike, but I do kind of wish that it didn't have the winglets. I think it would look better without them. This is my opinion on it. God damn, motherfuckers, come on. But aside from the paint scheme and the winglets, I think it's basically the same bike as the 2017. And the only thing they really updated for 2017 was, I think, cornering ABS. Yeah, cornering ABS, and they got the Öhlins new suspension. And I think they upgraded the brakes. So really the 2018 isn't that far off from the 2017. And the 2017 engine-wise is exactly the same as the 2016, just upgraded suspension, brakes, and a paint scheme. So I don't know, I'm kind of on ends about the 2018. And the Euro dollar's doing really well too, so I believe the 2018 RSV4 RF limited edition is going for $24,499 US. And it's going for $25,000, like $425 Canadian. Obviously, the American and Canadian dollar is significantly different. So if you were to convert $24,000 to Canadian, it'd be more like $31,000 Canadian. Well, that's not how vehicle sales go. So it's actually would be cheaper for American to move to Canada and buy the bike than to actually buy the bike in the US. So, I mean, I always thought that was kind of weird, because I saw my bike going for the same price in the US, but it's like, the US dollar's worth more. I don't understand, but it's just the way it is. Like, they can only justify selling a bike for roughly around a certain price to begin with. But yeah, I'm curious on your opinion on this bike. What do you think? Would you buy it? I mean, let's say the money, not everybody would even spend the money I spent on this bike, is to each their own. When somebody finds the money I wasted on this bike, they're like, oh, I could have bought such and such bike. Well, to me, such and such bike would be a waste of money because I wanted this bike. Does that make sense? To me, getting a bike I didn't want for $10,000 would be a waste of money, even though I spent a lot more money on this bike. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. I hope you guys can kind of see that. One person likes in shoes, another person's like, those are the ugliest shoes I ever seen. I would not spend a dime. You don't have to spend a dime on it. But let's say you did have the money. What would you guys think? Would you buy the 2017 or 2016 like mine? Or would you get the 2018 limited edition? I'm kind of torn. I mean, I really like the looks of it. I just don't know if I wanted to be riding around on the street with, you know, winglets on my bike and shit. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm really curious on your opinions on it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I really want to know your opinion on this bike. Obviously I threw up a bunch of pictures and some pictures of what it was paying homage to and stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, motherfuckers. Stay tuned, and I'm really looking forward to actually having a nice spirited ride. I'm sure you guys are too, because I need to wind this thing fucking out.